Excuse me. Hi guys, it's Rick here. I thought I would thought I'd be more serious today. I'm going to touch on sex. I'm going to touch on some sex in our Bible. I'm going to show you what it means, and that, reason why things are kind of topsy and turvy and kind of screwed up and everything right now is because of taking the Bible literally. And one of the things that you get from taking the Bible literally will be like a male superiority. You already know that there's that the Bible is made where it looks like the female is pretty much the one that does all the tricking, get everybody in trouble. The original sin and stuff like that. A lot of things are blamed on her, Adam and Eve. Eve takes the heavy in that. A lot of the women take the heavy in all these stories, and even Mary Magdalene is made out to be a whore. And, regardless of all of that, it's about sex. We're talking about sex, even God or Jesus, to get to know Him is to know Him. We know that the word know means to have sex. That's the way we look at it from a literal standpoint. But, if you got past the literal point, where you find out it's not about sex. There are other ways of making a union. There's other ways of bringing on what these stories are asking us to do. And, if you can put aside what is real, that these people and all these things, they're not real. So we got an airplane. But if you take the premise away that these things are real, but these stories, that they're not real, that is, that they're really stories that relay a message that's really deep, but for some reason it had to be hidden. Or maybe it wouldn't have made it through all this time if it had been known right off the bat that there was two stories within these. One that was the one to keep you busy, keep the deceiver deceived. And then there was one that was a little deeper in there for those people who delved deeper into stuff, that took it upon themselves to seek and find on their own and not follow and be lost. And, and there's a larger number of those people. I only get like 5 or 6 people watching me. But I'm talking about the way that, historically, at least by these documents that we're talking about, is the least traveled highway. And so if I get 10 or 15 people to travel this way with me, on their own, we're not overcrowding heaven very much. It doesn't even seem, it seems as if it's kind of hidden from a lot of people on purpose. But anyways, this idea about sex, when you take the live element out, and when you take the group, the group control, the crowd control part of the Bible away, and you look at it as like a self-help guide for someone that's looking to raise their energies, raise their consciousness, to become a more higher, reliable human being that does seek higher things in the world. And it's not so material, and and the teachers and people like that, this is where you want to go, is on the higher side of things. And the word Israel, Israel, that's not a Jewish name. That is an acronym, all right, and they're made up of and people, oh no, it's not, shit, man, you guys. I ain't gonna lie to you, and it makes a lot of sense. It's showing you that there's a combination of 3 things that cause this wonderful thing to happen to us, and it's really a frequency bath. If you can remember, if you hear anything about, the past and the ancient days, is that they would heal each other by frequency. They would find out what was wrong, and you would go into these places that would have a certain tone and things like that, and you would literally just be vibrated back into health, and it's not too far off. It's very smart. Where everyone thinks you have to have a pill and stuff like that. This is a vibration. This is an energy that's in our case, it becomes considered delta frequency, and and it's very good for you. It's very healing. It purges the body and it cleans the mind. And in our case, it restores us, is what it does. So the sex involved with knowing, being known, is really the idea of joining together, joining and unifying. And in this case, it's turning the switch, because it's electrical. You want to knock out the male side of our body, our male mind, and you want to attach it to the female side, and up you go. All right. This is the father, and this is the mother. So this could be sex. I was listening to people complain today about the Bible saying, you got to go up and have sex with your father. And in a lot of ways, that's what you do, or families having sex with yourself, because, I put in there, well, what's so crazy about that? It's just, you literal people are so nuts, but, how come it is that you take what happens to Lot, right after the Lord destroys 2 big old cities full of sexually deprived individuals, does he wind up on top of a mountain somewhere where his daughters get him drunk and then rape him? Well, they like this to handle that. Well, they thought that was the end of the world and they're going to have to propagate the world. Well, no. Oh, but it shows, well, he doesn't like faggots, but he doesn't mind incest. No, it's not true. None of that stuff. And even the word being a homosexual in the group, or the woman having to submit to the male. What it's saying is that, it tells you right out there that the carnal mind, which is our male side of our mind, is not subject to the laws of God, nor can it be. That's because we live world and have a great old time. We got to eat, live, sex, or whatever, smoke and drink, have a good old time, pollute the body with all this wonderful stuff that we got down here. We just enjoying it. This is what our soul came into our body for, to learn something and to live. But every now and then you want to take a bath, and it's more than the bath on the outside. You got to clean out from the inside, and that's all that we've been missing for the last 2,000 years. And so part of us, if you were talking about the Buddha, you clean the outside. We all look real pretty walking around with our Jordache jeans and all this crap, and these particular kinds of sunglasses and hairdos and smell like these people. But our insides is just trash. Absolute cesspools of garbage. And this shit manifests outside of us by you wearing this and doing this, and you don't even know who you are. How in the hell are you going to know the Lord if you don't even know who the fuck you are? And that's one of the other fixes. You got to say, to know God is to know thyself, or to know thyself is to know God. Whichever way you want to do it. I'm dyslexic. Remember, things go backwards. But in a dual world, I've got 50-50 chance of getting it right, And since things aren't so put in stone, I can fix it. I can remember and do it the correct way. But anyways, when Lot goes up there and is made drunk, what it is he's drunk off the new wine. When you finally make it up to the top of this thing, and you get the new mind is the new wine, and the story's putting new wine into old wineskins. It's kind of wrong. So you got the whole new you. That's why he's made drunk off the new wine, and it's the combination of the extensions of him. That's why they're his daughters. It's the extension of the higher aspects of the spirit mixing with the mind and giving them this God. That's what we're looking for, the ultimate thing. And his wife turning into salt is a preservative. You're being restored. And maintained. Wife. Remember the wife. She turns back and she's not the bad guy in this, and neither are the women, and nobody's screwing their family, And when it comes down to being a homo and stuff like that, and being a homosexual in Scripture, it's really just taking your left mind, your carnal mind, the male consciousness, going outside of the self, hooking up with another male conscious. A male conscious actually means something that is born out of the the carnal mind. And the outside world here is the devil's, the carnal mind is the devil's, so all this shit out here belongs to him. And so there's your queer right there. Alright, so God loves everybody. He doesn't care what you do. You know, he may draw lines of animals and stuff like that. You know, I would draw a line too, but you know, he's not caring what you do otherwise. The only thing that these stories tell you about is disconnection. Shut up, go inside, come up here with me and say hi. And I'll bring you back down, bring some light back into this world of ours. It's been missing it for a while. And clean out that cesspool that you got dealing with on the inside. And you'll see it ain't got nothing to do with sex. These are all electrical connections. And when it comes to mother and father, and brothers and sisters, and aunts and uncles and stuff like that, and cousins, this is an extension from you, because this is a story about an individual raising his conscience. Not a group of people and not a nation of people. It's for the one person that wants to learn these things and make better of himself. All right. Peace. Love you. And have a beautiful day.